Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is December 11, 2018. Got to give a shout out to my man, Gaston Cruz. Saw him out at Vegas and out in San Fran, man. Really good guy. He's doing the whole blockchain beach movement out there in Long Beach. He wanted to hear some James Brown Code Sweat. He says, cause CoinGeek is stressing him. Yeah, it's stressing a lot of us here in the crypto space, man. Shout out to you for that soulful song request for today. What's good, people? Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be looking at two articles. One from Novogratz, you know, the billionaire hedge fund guy who really jumped knee deep into cryptos a few years ago. He still anticipates a lot of growth in the crypto space, but more importantly and more specifically, the securities tokens. And I told you guys I felt the same way. I think STOs are going to be huge in 2019 and going forward. I just don't like how it's going to set up for only the ones who are accredited investors to really benefit initially, and then everyone else will have to ride the tail after the STOs are done. You know, we got to work hard to change these rules for a new system. Like I was telling someone a month or so ago about an idea of maybe having a separate type of crypto accredited investor certificate where, you know, if you pass a certain test that goes through all of blockchain and what it is, what it isn't, then that could be the criteria for you to actually invest in an STO and not just off your net worth. But anyway, we'll take a look at what he has to say about that. Second article is about this ICO death spiral that we're having. It's definitely down. November inflows have fallen to $65 million, down from, get this, 2.6 billion. That's a huge drop in investment flows for ICOs. So kind of two separate sides of the coin we're going to talk about today. Definitely leave your comments in the area below. But before we get into it, I gotta give this one out to Jay Snippy, the orphan block of the day. He probably doesn't even know what orphan block is. This guy wanted to kind of come at me today on a post I did a few days ago that, you know, a subscriber sent me and I just been brought to my attention. But anyhow, he wants to say he's got this successful, thriving YouTube channel, and he's going to leave all the failing ones behind, like mine, right? You have to check out the thread if you want to see the whole thing. But what he didn't understand is that I knew he was one of my top, not subscribers, but viewers of my videos, as you can see, courtesy of cryptoinfluence.io. You can all go check it out for yourself. But I told him, failed channel, huh? Well, sure do look like you watch a lot of my failed channels videos. Looks like you're the second highest viewer of my videos. And yeah, he is. He's actually the second highest. Never said anything publicly about that. Didn't really care. But since I'm a failed channel, I thought I would let you guys know that. Yeah. Anyway, market cap for today. We are down, guys. $108 billion. It looks like Bitcoin's dominance is at 55%, almost flat. And we started to kind of take a leg down. Then we got some support. Bulls kind of bought in at those levels. We were trying to breach the previous lows, and it just didn't happen. So it looks like the bulls are trying to fight off those bears right now. The algorithm tried to go short as well, but we got tapped out of there. So we'll see if it'll try to go short again or go long here in a little while. So again, this was the area it tried to breach. That was a very important area for me, more so 3,200 flat on Coinbase, but it was denied a breach of the 3249, 3260 area. We had a wick on this candle, and the bulls just defended that line really nicely. So we'll see what happens from here. I still think 3,000, 2,800 to 3,000, just depends on which exchange you're looking at. 3K on Bitstamp, I think, is still the low for us, but we shall see. Only time will tell here. But let's go ahead and take a look at that first article out of CryptoVest. Novogratz, still confident in crypto, anticipates growth in security tokens. Says here, Mike Novogratz, former Goldman Sachs partner and founder of Galaxy Digital, said that his crypto merchant bank was negatively impacted by the recent crash of the crypto market. Goes on to say here, billionaire and crypto believer Mike Novogratz is still confident in the cryptocurrency market despite its current bearish trend. On Tuesday, Bloomberg published an interview with the founder of crypto merchant bank Galaxy Digital Holdings, where he explained his current position on the crypto space. Novogratz, a former hedge fund manager, was surprised to see Bitcoin dropping below the 6,000 level, and he is probably not alone. I did think, he said, Bitcoin was going to hold at the 6,200. It stayed there for months. It felt like the selling was finished, but then Bitcoin Cash decided to fork again. At the same time, the SEC came out and sanctioned a few ICOs, initial coin offerings, and said, oh, by the way, your investors can sue for damages. That scared the heck out of a lot of people, the billionaire explained. I agree, there were a few things that happened kind of right around the same time that definitely punched us below the 62 area, because it was a floor for Bitcoin for quite some time, for some months. Goes on to say here, at the end of November, his Galaxy Digital reported a $136 million loss in the last 9 months. Novogratz was ready for the first bearish wave, which started when Bitcoin left its year-to-date peak. He said that he believed that crypto space could be a genuine structural shift in the world and that he could successfully hedge his portfolio, which he actually managed to do during the first long-term bearish movement. However, when the crypto market started to suddenly crash in mid-November, many investors, including Novogratz, were not ready, which was a real pain and still is. When asked if initial coin offerings would ever come back again, Novogratz said the ICO market was already dead. Indeed, the ICO space has seen a lot of fraud, which discouraged many investors. He says here, there was a lot of fraud and there was a lot of hype and people lost money. The SEC was behind the curve, so they slammed on the brakes, but the SEC doesn't want to kill this innovation. We've spoken to them at length. I think you'll see a market for security tokens, a real estate portfolio that gets tokenized, for example. He said, and he also went on to say, these aren't things that go from $1 to 1,000. They're things that yield 14% and they'll be sold to qualified buyers. That sounds a heck of a lot less sexy, but you're going to see that business grow, he added. Novogratz is not the only one to anticipate an expansion of the security token industry. After the hype around ICOs faded, many institutional investors regarded security tokens as the next megatrend. Yeah, I agree. And once I saw that kind of hit the block, I was like, yep, that's definitely the next wave and will be the future. It started even before really STOs really hit the block. You had Polymath. They were ahead of the curve with this whole STO, or securitizing assets on the blockchain in that manner. And, you know, I think that's just going to be the wave of the future. But as he noted, Mike Novogratz said that, you know, this will only be offered to accredited investors. And that's the part that I have an issue with. So you guys let me know. Is this a good thing that ICOs are done and STOs are in? I don't think so. And in regards to how they will only allow qualified investors to get their pick at it initially. 14% yield, that's still great. And if that's the case, on average, you're going to see a lot of capital from Wall Street enter this segment. But and I was talking to someone about this, that does not mean that's a direct correlation to Bitcoin success. So this is where you got to start really thinking about, what does it look like when Wall Street enters the crypto space? Is it going to fully spill over to Bitcoin or not? Will it just stay within the STO markets? I'm leaning toward the latter. I think it's going to probably stay. A lot of that capital is going to stay and build up into the STO markets, because if the infrastructure is correctly set up, and it will be, I'm imagining accredited investors won't even have to buy cryptocurrencies to buy the STOs. They'll be able to go directly from fiat to STO. So this is something for us to think about, and you have to always keep your mind wondering and questioning and looking ahead of the curve, and not just get caught in one frame of mind and think that's just the way it's going to be. So you guys let me know your thoughts about this and what Novogratz is saying about security tokens. It's going to be a big market, definitely, but I feel like, and I'm afraid I have to say, I don't think it's going to include the major cryptocurrencies with that wave. And honestly, it's probably what the SEC and Wall Street wants anyway. So you guys let me know your thoughts about that. The second article is out of CCN. ICO death march. November inflows fall to 65 million from yearly high of, get this, $2.6 billion. That is a huge drop. The latest statistics on ICOs suggest that the best days of the fundraising mechanism may have long passed. The month of November recorded the lowest inflows in initial coin offerings in 2018, with 65 million raised just last month. This was sharp contrast to this year's best performing month, February, when it was 2.6 billion collected. It is also a tiny fraction compared to the 12.2 billion that has been raised so far this year in ICO issuance. Prior to November, the worst performing month had been September, when 180 million was collected by issuers, almost 3 times the amount that went into ICOs last month. The declining fortunes of ICOs come at a time when there is a slowdown in the cryptocurrency markets. This has also coincided with increased regulatory scrutiny in certain jurisdictions, such as the United States. Of course, mid this year, the chairman of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Jay Clayton, stated that ICOs are securities. Since then, there have been a number of ICO issuers who have come under the ire of the SEC after being found to have been in violation of securities law. Last month, 2 blockchain startups, AirFox and Paragon, which I talked about, I reported on this a few months ago, each reached a settlement of $250,000 with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission over failure to register their ICO tokens as securities. The settlement deal also gave the affected investors the green light to request a refund from the 2 ICO issuers, raising the prospects of bankruptcy for the 2 firms. And then also earlier this month, the SEC slapped $50,000 fine on Coin Alpha Advisors for distributing unregistered securities. Coin Alpha Advisors violated federal laws by failing to register its business. Additionally, an application to be exempt from a distribution license had been made by the firm, but the criteria for approval was not met. And then, of course, we know about the celebrities that got hit with fines and lawsuits, Floyd Mayweather and DJ Khaled. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure this ICO game, at least in the United States. Now, the United States is not the end all be all. We know that. So I'm just speaking on the U.S. I think it's over for individuals looking to participate and actually do an ICO in this country. It's over. You're going to have to go the route of STOs, which to me, it's going to get popular. Whether I like it or not, it is going to become popular in 2019. But going that route for companies, you're going to have a lot of startup capital initially to even go for STO, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys who know a lot about the STOs, let me know what your thoughts are. But I would assume there's a lot of red tape, a lot of legal fees that will have to be paid in order to structure the STO in the right way. You guys let me know your thoughts about that. That's pretty much it, though, for today. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, click that bell, share this video. Again, shout out to my man Gaston Cruz for that song request today. But that's my 2 Satoshis for December 11th, 2018. I'm out of here. Holla.